I've had stool testing done that only demonstrates dysbiosis. What would you recommend, if anything, that I do to improve that? I'm currently on 42 supplements, no dairy, very small amount of meat, grass-fed only, no sugar at all. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Few different things there. 42 supplements. Are they all working synergistically together? Are they all taken together? Are they separated out? I'm not sure what kind of supplements Teresa's on, but there's something called the vitamin and mineral wheel, whereby you can look at what mineral interacts with what mineral. For example, when we take zinc, it can knock our copper out of balance. So it's about understanding, if we take a supplement for one thing, what's it interacting with, or is it reducing the effect of something else? So there's that I would look at. She says no wheat, no dairy, no soy.
She didn't say wheat, she just said no dairy.
No dairy. So there's other things like gluten is known to cause inflammation. Inflammation is the root cause of all illnesses. So is she eating gluten? If she is, I would say try and stop eating gluten. And it's not just a case of swap gluten for gluten-free, because the gluten-free products tend to be highly processed. So it's about making her own products. But also, I think as well, with cancer, there's so many toxins in our environment. You know, what's in her products, what products is she using, what beauty products, what laundry products, what cleaning products, because our body has to detoxify everything that it either takes in us that we eat or that comes in through the skin. So we have to detoxify that before we can start healing. So, you know, is the toxins in this lady's life that she can remove that will help her to heal further and deeper? And also, has she addressed the emotional, spiritual, and mental aspects? Because she's clearly on the physical with taking all the supplements, and she's done some reductions of food types. So there's in my mind, there's a bigger picture. I need a bit more information.
Teresa, it looks like you're live with us. If you want to come on and unmute yourself and answer some of these questions, feel free to do so. If not, you want to hang in the background, that's totally fine too. You can let us know.
Pop it in the chat.
Yeah, or put it in the chat. And while she's doing that too, I want to reiterate as well, 42 supplements is way too many supplements for anybody. Many of those supplements guaranteed are going to have some contraindications with each other. You just can't mix that many supplements and not have problems with that. So I don't know who has there you are, Teresa. Oh no, that's not you, sorry.
No, but I'm on now. Can you hear me?
Oh, there we go. Yep.
Yeah.
Hi. And the test that I had taken before these 42 supplements was to check to see how everything was working, how the bowels were working. If I test that normal providers would not provide. I'm an RN for 35 years. So I did more like immune panels, GI panels. I did a food allergy panel that I'm waiting for, and all it showed was dysbiosis. And I don't know, that was prior to taking all of these supplements. I don't know if it's changed now, but is there something that I can do differently that would improve that?
Yes. Yeah. Sarah, do you want to go first?
Sure. I mean, to be honest, as Nathan says, and as I thought, 42 supplements is a lot of supplements. And I'm not sure what you're taking, but there is a possibility that some of that could be adding to your dysbiosis. Okay. But the other thing is for gut health, there's things like chaga mushrooms, which, you know, we can use food to help you to heal. But
I use those well. I have mushrooms. And I see part of all of those supplements are 42 pills. Like I use the mushrooms, probiotics. And again, this was prior to taking all of that, having the dysbiosis. And that was my concern, is that going to affect, I mean, can it affect what I'm taking now? It hasn't gotten worse. I don't feel bad. I never felt bad. I feel amazing.
Fabulous.
Right. For stage 4, I'm doing perfectly well. All of my labs are normal. Everything is normal. It was these tests that were not your mainstream testing that's telling me I have this dysbiosis. So I'm like, is this something I even need to worry about? If I feel so amazing right now.
Yeah, it's a good question. If I can just respond there for a second. First, let's talk about what gut dysbiosis is, right? In general, gut dysbiosis is an imbalance of microbiota, meaning you have an excessive amount of pathogenic microbiota versus a healthy amount of diverse, healthy microbiota. So
Right.
number one focus should be getting the microbiota into a healthy balance where pathogenic microbiota is reduced and your healthy microbiota is increased. And there's a few ways to do that. And Sarah, I know you can contribute to this as well. The first is actually to start adding more fermented foods into your diet. So things like kimchi, sauerkraut. I wouldn't do things like kombucha as much because they're generally too high in sugar. But fermented foods, you can ferment them yourself or buy them at the store. Organic is ideal. But those are going to have a much more natural flourishing amount of healthy microflora that your gut needs. One problem that we have in our society is that when they say we need probiotics, well, we take a probiotic that has 1 strain or 8 strains or 10 strains or 12 strains, not realizing that we actually have thousands of strains in our gut. And so we can actually get out of balance by taking a probiotic that only has 8 strains in it versus every day adding in you don't need much. I mean, a couple forkfuls is all you need every day. And you want to switch from, something like kimchi and then something like sauerkraut. There's great fermented foods, but adding a little bit of that every day and then making sure you're getting enough fiber in your diet so that those healthy microflora can actually replicate, because obviously, as we know, the fiber is the food for the bacteria. So, that's just good, healthy, more fruits and vegetables. When you say no sugar, I'm a little concerned there because people associate sugar from fruits and carbohydrates.
Oh, I love fruits. Fruits are natural, just nothing white.
Good.
No white sugar, but I've never eaten white sugar. This is so weird, is why I had cancer to start with. I've never eaten sugar. So it wasn't hard, but I was a heavy meat eater.
Yeah.
So I literally ate 12 pounds of meat a week.
And that definitely can lead to gut dysbiosis. I had the same thing growing up, meat and potatoes in Montana.
Absolutely.
So it took me years to heal. I used apple cider vinegar pretty much every day, and fermented food. And after a number of years, my gut completely healed, which was fantastic. But I had massive gut issues from that diet as well. So those are things you can do for the gut. Sarah, you want to add anything there?
Thank you.
I love kefir as well, going with the fermented foods. And you can make your own kefir as well. You can make the water kefir and you can make the milk kefir. Yes. And it just grows. So once you start making it, you can either eat the kefir raw as well as drink the liquid that you make it, or you can start giving it away to family and friends. Teresa, I do have a question for you though. You said you don't eat white sugar. Do you use artificial sugar, artificial sweeteners, sugar supplements?
Only stevia is the only one, and it's the organic natural. And
it's green.
No cream.
No, it's green. The stevia is green.
Yes, it's green.
Super.
It's green. And I use monk fruit if I need something sweet, but I'm not really a sweet person.
Brilliant.
Well, I am a sweet person, but I'm just not.
Of course.
You sound like a very sweet person.
No problems with that. But I giving up the meat was the hardest thing for me, and the dairy, and that was very difficult. But everything is like it's a lifestyle change, not a diet. It's just a lifestyle change.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, but thank you. I love this. I love you. I'm glad someone put me in touch with you, Nathan, because I've learned more. And being an RN 35 years means absolutely nothing when you have cancer. It doesn't. If I have never worked in cancer, and I feel like they were trained to a protocol and not really looking at the patient and the best patient outcomes. So imagine, it was very difficult for me at 62 to tell these doctors, I'm not doing any of that. And so, they're looking at me like, aren't you a nurse? I'm like, that's the very reason why I'm not doing this. So I appreciate this. I really appreciate taking the time. This is an awesome thing that you're doing. Awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for that. It's our pleasure. And you're not alone in that experience. You're among many others who have gone through the same thing. And it sounds like you're taking steps in the right direction. So keep doing it. You're doing fantastic.